A big part of what we're concerned about this week, looking at Jack Torrance and looking at HAL9000, is that extremes are really problematic when we're looking at a conflict. On the one hand, anger can cloud judgment. It can really get in the way of good reason. On the other hand, too much reason, too much cold logic can really disconnect us from the emotionality of things, and emotions are important to acknowledge. A conflict requires patience, and it also requires good communication. Anger is very unhelpful for both of those. Jack shows a complete unwillingness to engage with things.
What do you want me to do about it?
And when Jack does engage with a conflict, it's pretty awful. Now, the other side of this, reason, might want to come in and look at anger and say something like, calm down. We all know that when somebody tells you to calm down, that usually doesn't go over very well. So being too reasonable, being too cold, doesn't really help. Too much reason can go hand in hand with kind of an unwillingness to compromise.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
And not being willing to compromise and to try and understand emotionally what's happening with the story on the other side of the conflict doesn't get us very far either. So too much reason doesn't always help us, and too much anger is just a flawed way of having relationships with people. And in conflict, it's about trying to fix the relationship. Now, Anakin and Jack both come to a point where they struggle with arrogance. Arrogance is that feeling when someone thinks that they are better than somebody else. Anakin definitely has that. Jack shows it too. The other side of those type of very full of yourself feelings is hubris. Hubris is much more like what Hal has. Complete and utter self-confidence. No room for error, no sense of self-doubt, no belief that you could be fallible. And those two things are what we're going to look at next week with villain number 6 when we consider arrogance and hubris.
Vanity. Definitely my favorite sin.